Welcome to the Experience Strategy Podcast with your hosts, Joe Pine, the author of The Experience Economy and many other best-selling books on the topic, Dave Norton, an experienced futurist, founder and principal of Stone Mantle, the Experience Strategy Company, and me, Aranza Savas, an expert in coaching, motivation, and behavior change, and wrangling Joe and Dave. Each week, we bring you a trending story from the news and share our hot takes. This week, we're going back to the Wall Street Journal. But frankly, if you don't have a Wall Street Journal subscription, you can read about this everywhere because everybody's talking about it. The title of the Wall Street Journal article was Travis Kelce teams up with investor for activist campaign at Six Flags. The summary from them is Jana Partners built 9% stake in theme park operator with group that includes the Kansas City Chiefs tight end / Taylor Swift's fiance. It didn't say that. That's me editorializing. The article is by Lauren Thomas. It was published on October 21st online. If you're looking for it, we'll also post the link in the show notes. So quick summary on this. Title really said it all. Travis Kelce, big fan of Six Flags. He was brought in by Jana Partners to take 9% stake in a struggling theme park operator. They've recently done a merger, and yet it's challenging times for lots of big OG experiences, and certainly for theme parks specifically. And especially ones that didn't continue to build a brand and a story the way a Six Flags did. The way Disney World did, or even Disneyland, but Disney World specifically. And so Travis is apparently a huge fan of Six Flags and was excited to maybe be the face of reviving this brand. Now, I grew up with Six Flags. I was shocked after growing up in Texas to discover that other places had Six Flags because it's called Six Flags for the Six Flags over Texas, but whatever. I grew up going to Six Flags. My uncles worked at Six Flags in the 60s and 70s. It's, very much part of our family story. And yet it never dawned on me to take my children to Six Flags. Never once.
Not enough trees for you?
Not enough trees. If you have no idea what Joe is talking about, listen to the last episode. It's one of my favorites. And we're talking about colleges and tree to human ratios. I'll leave it at that just to wet your whistle, tantalize you, all those things. All right. Dave, I'm passing it to you to kick things off today.
Well, I like the way that you introduced this. The whole idea of OG experiences.
Right?
And that's kind of what it was.
Not in the article, right? That's all Arances there.
No, that's all Arances talking about that. And the question I think we need to address is, why is this experience not succeeding at this point in time? What's going on? Because roller coasters and parks were a great big part of our lives. I actually grew up in Kentucky. Cincinnati had Kings Island. Mm-hmm. That's where we went. It was about 2 hours away. It was a full day excursion. We loved it. We would go there as teenagers. As soon as somebody got their driver's license, a bunch of kids would pile in and we would take off and go on a Saturday and spend all day just throwing up, like after we went on all of these rides.
That was the mark of a good experience, right? And you didn't even have any alcohol, Dave, right?
No alcohol. Just hot dogs and roller coasters, man. That'll do it to you every time. Right? So what happened? Why is this a failure on the part of the corporate strategy? Is this a change in the way that people think about things? Are there certain are there certain industries that fall away as new industries? Like, are they a victim of virtual experiences in some way, shape, or form?
Good question.
So, what happened, guys? Tell me, Joe. You got an idea?
Yeah, I got ideas. So,
this episode's going to be a real roller coaster ride.
Right. speaking of our youth, Dave, my actual first job was at an amusement park. I was a ride operator at Valley Fair Amusement Park, now owned, I think, by this company in Minnesota. And it's funny. It wasn't until years after the experience economy came out that I made that connection that my first job was an experience job, and eventually I recalled some things that I learned from that and everything. But so one of the things you said is very true, which is you have all of these newfangled experiences, totally new genres of experiences, such as escape rooms and immersive art and kick-ass, axe throwing bars. Dave was the first one to ever take me to an axe throwing bar. And all these new experiences that they now have to compete with, right? And that's just like the actual down the plate experiences plus the retail experiences, like Aransas last time mentioning her experience of Safari that she goes on to a store, spending time there. Obviously, she got time well spent out of that. All the places that we can spend our time, we have a limited amount of time. And you have to up your game. You can't keep doing the same things that you've always been doing without upping your game. Secondly, they've been downgrading their game. they haven't even been keeping up with the basics, right? The article talks about how the main activist investor, had trouble just buying tickets. And he said, this is ridiculous. So, experiences are built on top of services. You got to get the service level right. You got to get that as time well saved. You got to get rid of all the time wasted, such as having to buy tickets and so forth. I remember a few years ago, I went to a theme park in Europe somewhere. I won't give the name, but very well respected. But I could not help but notice that the farther I got from the center of the park, it wasn't a big place, but the farther I got from the center of the park, the less upkept it was, if that's the right verb for that. And you get to the restaurants, you got outside of the restrooms. Outside of the restrooms, the paint is peeling off of the walls and things like that. And you see brooms and things just sort of haphazardly left around. Right, you've got to have all those stuff buttoned up and taken care of, on which you then build a great experience. And then again, that experience has to compete with all the other experiences that are out there.
That's such a good point. And I was thinking sort of for once historically here, in that my guess is that the decisions made many, many, many years ago are what we're seeing the outcome of right now. Right. So as Joe was describing this, right, he's describing probably a series of events in which the experience wasn't innovated. And so because value fell, they weren't ready to invest in their tech stock. And so as they decreased investment in tech stock, the experience value fell further. And then it was a cyclical process. That's right. And it spiraled downhill. And, I don't think that's different than a lot of our legacy brands. And they've been dying since the early 2000s. Because they didn't make the early investments in tech in meaningful, customer-focused ways. And so they just weren't able to compete. Yeah. So this is probably not a new problem, is my point here. And Travis Kelce is going to attract a lot of attention and eyeballs, but what a waste it will be if Travis Kelce is pulling them into a faded, peeling, hard to use experience.
Yeah.
It won't, there's no amount of celebrity that could correct that.
I don't know. No, they have to actually fix the experience.
They could actually do a Travis Kelce signing at every visit.
Right.
And it wouldn't be enough.
I do
have to
like
fix the root issues.
Well, correct me about this if I'm wrong, Aransas, but Travis Kelce his persona seems to fit Six Flags.
Yeah, he's
fun. There's, he's the bro. He's the hang out on the weekends kind of guy. There aren't a lot of influencers that could pull off what he's able to do, right? There's a lot of football players.
Choice.
There's a lot of football players.
It's still not enough.
It's not enough. Yeah, it's not enough.
I mean, I do think but what I think we're all pointing toward is they need to have a really strong point of view. So what was the name of the Shields, right? So I'm thinking about Shields,
Sports Place.
It's a sports place. It's a sports place where families have fun together. They've got a really strong commercial offering. So in the same way that when I watch Pretty Little Liars, I can shop the entire set now, I should be able to shop all of my experiences, frankly. And I think the Shields would be a perfect one to watch for the team that's creating this experience, right?
Yeah.
They should be learning how to create these family friendly and meaningfully family friendly experiences. I should be able to go and learn how to play football with some digital Travis Kelce at the park, right? Like they
Right.
need to really embed these experiential and ideally transformative elements into this experience. And there's a ton of potential there, but it is going to take really rethinking what they're doing, because what they've done wrong, and this is kind of what my original point was, is they thought, you know what? In 2001, we put in that new roller coaster and we saw a surge of people. And so they were like, okay, roller coasters work. Let's keep putting in more roller coasters. Roller coasters are expensive, I'm sure. And they are not anymore a fail-proof innovation strategy. I can guarantee it without ever having looked at a single piece of data on roller coaster returns.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think this is also a case example of, and Joe, you brought this up, the peeling paint.
Yep.
There's something about themed environments that the upkeep is very, very important, and they have to be revitalized. I go to, we like to do our, yeah, we like to go to a place for our family reunions called Cherry Hill. And it's got a lazy river that kind of goes through it. It's got different pools. So it's kind of a pool park, but it's also got camping stations and stuff like that. And of course, they themed...
like a natural lazy river or a man-made?
No. They themed the lazy river. So you kind of go through this old American town. And honestly, I know this won't surprise you, but when I take my grandkids and we go around that, I'm telling them the history of why those things are there, because they look so old and outdated.
If you're just listening to this, know that Joe and I because that's the most Dave anecdote.
You've got the animatronic guy who's kind of moving, the cowboy that kind of moves like this, and I'm like, and I'm saying, back in the early 1980s, this was considered to be a really interesting form of animatronics. You know, my oldest grandkid is 6. You know, so he's like, "Wow, I have no idea what you're talking about, Grandpa." But that's a real problem for a lot of these themed environments. Is they're not keeping up, and it feels really dated. Now, I can imagine a situation where in the future they may be able to play into a retro type of thing, but they still got to make sure the paint ain't cracked. It's got to look like it's been cleaned up, not like it has been left behind.
Yep.
And so there's a lot of themed environments.
Our standards are high now.
Yeah.
One of the things the article points to also is how they have been increasing their prices so much, right? Particularly after COVID, because when COVID ended, they had a lot of demand, right? But for them, it was short-lived because they don't have the experience of the Disney. Just a week ago, Disney announced yet another price increase for Disneyland and Disney World. I mean, it's like every 7-8 months they're announcing price increases. I may have mentioned this before in the podcast, but I did an article, an op-ed for the Wall Street Journal a few years ago, where I analyzed all of the prices at Disneyland, where you could go back over 4 years.
Yeah.
And found that the average price of Disneyland has gone up 2.6 times, if I remember the number right, the CPI, the Consumer Price Index. Means every year, 2.6 times Disney's going up. And that's not inflation, as we call it, as we tend to think of it. It's not because it costs more to fix the paling paint and everything, right? It's because the value has gone up. But that the value of Disney does go up, but that's not the same with Six Flags, right? No. The value is going down as they're raising the prices, and that disconnect is a tremendous issue.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Gone are the days of the mall and Six Flags.
Well, let's hope not Six Flags.
Well,
Yeah.
as it exists right now, as a because all it positions itself as is a place for roller coasters.
Mm-hmm.
There's no story.
That's what he wants. They're talking in the article. I want an even bigger roller coaster that's ever did, except I want to be able to have my legs hanging out because I'm big and go upside down and all of this. That was his main.
That seems very specific to you, Travis. See, I read a different article on this than you guys. That to me is such a short-sighted strategy.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Their customer is not 6'5", 300-pound dudes.
Yeah. No, they
need to appeal to a slightly broader audience than that, and they need to create a meaningful experience out of it. Like, that's just correcting a functional issue for a football player. So and seriously, I think this is such a big problem in so much of our celebrity casting. Yeah. And right, like, and I was just reading an article about how Broadway is being destroyed by celebrity casting, and there's a whole case to be made there too, because like what we do so often is we bring in one strong point of view, one celebrity or one known voice, and it takes the whole volume of attention, and we end up designing for one person, not for one mode or one, right? Like, and it's never worked.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You can't design for Travis Kelce, right?
You can't. Travis is Travis.
So is the experience.
But Travis's fans, that's who I would design for.
So as the experienced strategist you two are, all right, what are you recommending? What should Six Flags do? What should the investor do now that if he takes control?
Oh, yeah, I have very strong feelings on this.
Well, I think that this is a classic case of how do you grow as a company, and of course, growth is almost always associated in my mind when it comes to experiences to identify new situations that people can tap into your experiences for. It is, like it's fascinating that there seems to be one demographic that is most roller coaster oriented, one stage of life, one one type of Saturday that everybody kind of has to fit into in order to go to an amusement park. To me, we need lots of different situations where you would want to go to an amusement park.
Yes.
Now, I know some amusement parks have added like big slides,
Halloween lights night and stuff.
Or they have event-based stuff like that. That's not what I'm talking about necessarily in this. What they need is...
They either need to be a real destination, right? And they need to be like, you plan your whole decade around getting to Six Flags and we're going to charge you so much. But I'm sorry, that's not the strategy because Disney World's got it on lock.
Right.
Or good luck. That's why I bring up Shields. They need to be Shields. They need to be an amusement park, not a roller coaster gimmick park.
I like that. I mean, we get back to the idea of amusement. And what does that?
All day long, time well spent on various different amusements.
Uh-huh.
I like that.
It's like I went to, I shared with you guys, I think on a prior episode, I went to an amusement venue in Northborough, Massachusetts. You haven't heard of Northborough probably because it's not that big.
Is it right above Southborough? I'm trying to think.
It's not. Believe it or not, no. It is. It's near Worcester, though. It's a suburb of a suburb. This place is hopping 7 days a week, all day, every day. It is a massive complex, tens of thousands of square feet. And there are so many reasons to go. So at night, we're going to play video games, to play pool, to bowl, to do the escape room, to throw the axes. During the day, we're going for our kids' gymnastics classes.
Perfect.
Right? Like my son plays soccer in there. That not mine, but like I'm imagining I'm a person who lives there. like all day long. It's same with Chelsea Sports Complex in New York City. They now have 2 of them, one in Brooklyn, one in Manhattan. They've designed it for so many uses. It's all amusement. It's a new roller coaster to me is just, and it's just gimmick.
Well, you're gonna ride it 1 or 2 times, and that's gonna be about it.
Moving on. Good luck
I love this
making
idea
a business out of it.
I love this idea that you've got, that maybe like as you see things like axe throwing kind of take off, these amusement parks, they just have a slot where they just put that in. And once that trend passes, then they put in the next thing and the next thing. It's part of programming. And so they've got this whole arcade, the original term of an arcade, where they're slotting in all of these different activities, and people know that they can come and try all of these new activities anytime they want. They can. I mean,
they might even want to put an education component around some of this, going into transformation. Like, could I go and learn how to play football in the Travis Kelce Sports Academy at Six Flags? Could I, right? Like,
as long as it's amusing,
it's got to be like everything to do with sports and amusement and thrill and play. That all fits.
I think it would be a lot of fun to have.
But another bigger roller coaster to me is like a recipe for disaster. And last time we said that was Cracker Barrel, and we were right.
And look what happened.
All right, Joe, any last advice for them before I kick us out of here?
Well, quickly, I'll say what you mentioned tech in 2001 and all that. The tech that they should bring to the park is an experience platform. An operational platform that allows people to book their entire day there, as well as including being able to change it in real time, but be able to effectively book things. And here's what they should be: is we're the no line amusement park. You don't wait in line. Don't wait in any physical line. You're always busy, and when you get done, we alert you on your list of things to do. Boom! Dynamically, you go over here, and there's a seat waiting for you on that.
That's great.
That's good.
Yeah.
I love it.
I like it. All right, let's go into the amusement park, guys. All right. Next time I see you, I'll tell you about going to Viola's room. I know I keep telling you guys I'm going to tell you about it. It was really cool. And more to come, but we're trying to get you out of here in 20 minutes. And, here you go. Thanks for listening. Thank you for being on this roller coaster ride with us. We hope you didn't puke.
And we're out.